here.
Rush hour traffic.
Look at this.
Oh.
Wrong way. Wrong way. Look at all the officers there trying to get back. Look at the trucks coming.
Here comes another spike. 2 officers with spike attempts, almost throwing it. Look at that. I think he
Los Angeles witnessed one of its most dangerous chases to date. A murder suspect, driving a black Toyota Corolla, led Los Angeles police on a chaotic chase through rush hour traffic. This was no ordinary chase. The driver lost control. He sped down the shoulder of I-110, backed into a busy street, and even collided with a truck. The impact was so severe that his bumper was dented, but he continued driving. Despite police attempts to stop him with spike tape, which slashed one of his tires, he refused to give up, continuing to drive in circles even with 2 flat tires.
He is being notified. So this is LAPD on his tail at this point?
Right, so what they'll likely do is inform CHP if LAPD asks for that assistance. It appears at this juncture that LAPD is going to maintain control of this pursuit, but these things can change pretty quickly depending on the circumstances. So that is, it's almost like a courtesy at this.
Which we believe are going 60, 65, maybe 70. He's blowing by them. So maybe you're right that he is going, close to
LAPD. I just want to double check. That is still LAPD right behind him. So what we know for sure is that handoff has not taken place yet. CHP still getting prepared, getting units in place, but it's not easy. They have to have the units available. Here he is getting off. He's going to cut somebody off. He's going to go over the gore point here, and he's going to get off at, let's see, we'll get this exit here. It's at the Terminal Island exit, but he's now going to be on surface streets here momentarily as this ramp takes him underneath the 110 freeway and eventually towards the Vincent Thomas Bridge. He is actually about to get on the Vincent Thomas Bridge if he doesn't take this final exit here, which will be Harbor Boulevard. If he bypasses Harbor, he will end up on the bridge and he will take us all the way into the port. It looks like he's hugging that left lane, and if I'm not mistaken, he is now committed. He is now committed to, over the gore point. This is his last chance. A little last-minute maneuvering there really points to what you were talking about, guys. He really may not know where he wants to take this. He possibly
he's slowing down.
Just making this up, going the wrong way now. He's now taking the entrance ramp, going off, thinking he's going to lose these cops, going head-on with these semi-tractor trailers that are trying to get towards the port, now going the wrong way on Palos Verdes Street as he comes head-to-head with other motorists, threading the needle, coming head-to-head with innocent drivers trying to get onto the bridge here. He is now going the wrong way on the entrance ramp, getting off at Harbor Boulevard, making a wild left-hand turn here, and really ramping things up. This is going to change the entire profile of this pursuit. That maneuver is enough to attract a lot more attention, going over the dividing cones there, and now trying to just put any amount of distance that he can between him and those primary units. But you can see now we have clear desperation. There's a guy directing traffic right here. He's like, what's going on with this guy? Well, he has no idea. This is a major pursuit coming right through the port here, and this suspect is desperate. He is now desperate to get away. We are seeing a much different behavior now behind the wheel than we've seen at any point during this pursuit as he tries to figure out his next move here. I hesitate to say where he's going to maybe end up next here, but it doesn't look good. If he continues this type of driving, somebody could get very hurt. Going the wrong way, head on with all those vehicles without any regard for anybody's safety here. We're seeing clear violations of multiple traffic rules, and obviously LAPD can't go the wrong way the way he is willing to go. So now they have to reconfigure their strategy, figure out how to get units ahead of him. I don't know how far back. I doubt they were able to go the wrong way the way he was, but it looks like there's a black and white near the bottom of the screen. So there is somebody prepared there. Look at him, he's going against traffic again and now getting back on the 110. He went through that intersection, past cross traffic, almost got into another head-on collision, and is now going northbound on the 110 freeway. He's going to get back on the freeway here, and just look at the damage there. That was not there before, I do not believe. I think that is new bumper damage as he ran up against one of those oncoming vehicles. There was a minor collision there, and that may start to affect the vehicle. We'll see what he does here, but now he's northbound on the 110 freeway, now going the opposite opposite direction. We'll see, guys. This is getting a lot more dangerous by the second.
We need to look at the video. I think you're right. I think he hit one of those vehicles. I don't know if it was one of the big trucks or that pickup truck, but I think his tail bumper smashed into somebody as he was trying to squeeze his way through when he was going the wrong way.
Look,
he's about to lose the whole bumper.
Yep, it's coming off.
I do believe the front bumper has damage as well from an earlier collision. It looks that way to me, but this is about to go.
And when this does go, it creates a terrible situation for drivers behind him. That's going to fly onto some car. You know, the bumper there will likely fly into traffic lanes.
Yeah, that bumper is really concerning me. That bumper, if that bumper flies off, it's only being held on by a couple of bolts now. If that bumper flies off, that could create a real hazard for any number of the drivers that are in the vicinity here, and it's also going to affect the vehicle at some point here. So now we have a dangling bumper that is not a light piece of rubber. That is a real hazard if that flies through somebody's windshield. So you've got that factoring in here. LAPD still in pursuit here, able to get on the freeway with him. I can't tell you exactly how far. About a half mile, I'm being told. About a half mile back is the closest unit. So once again, it's falling on that helicopter to maintain a visual of this suspect as he comes speeding up the 110 freeway. Now, you noticed as we got past Sepulveda earlier, things really got lighter on the 110 freeway. Now that he's going the opposite direction, he doesn't have much traffic, I would say, for another quarter mile, maybe another half mile, and then things are about to change. There's a lot more traffic coming up who it belongs to. Again, it all goes back to what they are working with in terms of information. We don't know if this is a stolen vehicle, what other crimes are involved surrounding this suspect. I can tell you traffic is about to come to a complete stop momentarily. That may or may not inhibit him because right now he is dedicated to that shoulder. He's using that shoulder to get around all of this rush hour traffic. LAPD still trying to catch up, but you can see now it looks like there's 2 units coming up ahead here. They may be positioning for a spike strip. Look at that. They've stopped traffic ahead of him. They've stopped traffic and they spiked him. They spiked him in the middle of rush hour traffic on the freeway, deploying that spike strip, and it looks like it may have been successful.
Brilliant.
Look at that front left tire. If that front left tire was struck, it's most likely that the front right tire was likely struck, but that looks like that tire is already deflating from hitting that spike strip. That is going to really slow this vehicle down here as he tries to get off, going around the semi-truck. Back on the shoulder here. Excellent job by the California Highway Patrol, able to set up for that spike strip. That's why
I don't think we've seen that before.
Each other to try and coordinate.
I don't think we've seen that before on the freeway.
Move, Giovanna. It's been especially with all that traffic. The freeway spike is something they will try, but it's something we see more common up in the desert or maybe up the Grapevine where they've got a long stretch of freeway and empty pavement to just lay down that spike strip. I think you're right. I have never quite seen one in the middle of rush hour traffic. They were able to effectively create a traffic break and then right at the traffic break, lay down a perfect spike strip right as he cleared the traffic jam there. And now it looks like he's thinking about getting off the freeway, getting off of the 110 freeway now, as that tire is already coming off. That tire was immediately deflated. There goes the tire. Now he's riding on one rim. I don't know what the other side of the vehicle looks like, but he's getting off now. LAPD right behind him. He's coming between these 2 vehicles here. We know he's willing to ram into other cars. He's done it already. He's gone the wrong way. He has sped right through traffic, and now it looks like this vehicle is on borrowed time. Tyler, when we get a chance at some point, if we can come around the passenger seat, I would like to see just what that other side of the vehicle looks like. But this vehicle is coming apart at the seams. We've got one tire completely gone. We've got the bumper dangling off here. There is other damage, and we're going to see how much longer this holds up. But right now, he just turned onto Del Amo Boulevard off of Fig, and he's slowing down dramatically. Also, the fender is also interfering with that front right.
Doing a lot of the dangerous maneuvers, weaving in and out of traffic as much, high speeding that he was doing for the first half of this pursuit. That is, you know, the beauty in what they were able to do in terms of disabling some of this vehicle. I'm just shocked that the rear bumper is still hanging on there.
And that thing is hanging on by a thread, too. By the way, you saw just a moment ago, he was going northbound and eventually saw another officer. It appeared that there was another LAPD officer setting up for another spike strip. Didn't quite have enough time, but he was able to go and make that turn anyways. Made a westbound turn and is now on Main Street, northbound on Main Street, parallel with the 110 freeway, continuing at about the same speed, past 112th. And for a good time, for a good amount of time now, we have been on these surface streets. Here comes another spike strip attempt. He goes right around that one as well. These officers doing a great job of predicting his next move. But again, because of these slow speeds, it gives him a little more time to prepare as well. So they kind of have an idea as he establishes this pattern. There are now LAPD units flooding this neighborhood, prepared for these turns almost, as they try and lay down a spike strip to bring those rear wheels to heel. And right now, they just haven't had much luck with those rear tires, but he is running low on fuel. We have to presume at this point that this vehicle is on borrowed time. You see smoke coming from underneath the vehicle. Those rims are getting very hot. If he continues braking, they're going to get very hot, and it's going to eventually give up on him. And southbound on Flower, coming towards us once again, right along the 110 freeway here. He is definitely animated now as he tries to figure out his next move. We're seeing a lot more turns, a lot more aggressive behavior behind the wheel as each and every one of these spike strip attempts kind of gets his adrenaline going once again. Now underneath the 110 freeway, I thought maybe he might even think about getting back on the 110 freeway, but he's obviously familiar with LA rush hour traffic and is not willing to get involved in that mess again. So he's going to stay on surface streets and once again continuing this circle around South LA. And look at that. It does look, I can't say for sure, guys, but it looks like in addition to that bumper, I think he is still dragging that spike strip on the left rear corner of that vehicle.
Wow. That is something that I haven't seen before, but that was quite the effort by that police officer to toss that spike strip towards him as he was trying to maneuver away from them. And if he was successful, then maybe at least that driver's side back tire might be deflating. Hopefully it is, and it does seem to be a little bit more difficult for him to maneuver the vehicle. Maybe it's just me making that up, but it does seem to be a little bit more difficult for him to make these turns now.
Yeah, it almost.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost looks like it's to me. It almost looks like it's had no effect. To be quite honest,
Oh, okay.
I mean, he is just zigzagging his way through now, and it almost appears to me that he's going a little bit faster. So he's probably going as fast as it'll let him go, but it just does not seem to be here. He's another truck backing up here as he navigates a narrow residential street, but the mobility of that car does not appear to be affected by this. For the first time, it almost looks like he's coming to a stop here. Officers with their door open as the vehicle appears to have come to a stop here. They have officers in front of him and officers behind him. He does not have anywhere to go here at the intersection of Main Street and 92nd. It has now come to a stop. Officers with their guns drawn out of their vehicles. We do not have good eyes on the suspect, but you can see that officer right there on the left-hand corner of your screen, the left-hand side of your screen, rather, now instructing that suspect to get out of the vehicle, and we will see if he cooperates here momentarily for it. They'll be ready at every juncture here, but in any event, it looks like he is putting his hands up in the air. He understands that time is up, and this pursuit is now over. He steps out of the vehicle, stepping away from that Toyota with his hands up in the air, clearly visible, as the suspect cooperates with those LAPD units. They will now treat this very carefully as they place him under arrest after a lengthy pursuit, both high speed and low speed. This pursuit has had it all, and it looks like he is showing them his waistband, making it clear that he does not have a weapon in his waistband, throwing off his baseball cap, and now giving up about as peacefully as you could possibly expect. They will approach him here momentarily, or they will ask him to walk backwards. We'll see which they choose here, but that vehicle appears to be empty. The suspect now appears to be cooperating. We are looking at it long from several miles away. That explains the shaky shot here. But you can see there are people in their backyards trying to catch a glimpse of what's going on, either watching it on their phones or hearing about it on the radio, and now trying to see what all the commotion's about here, and that is really the worst nightmare for law enforcement. Look at them approaching the vehicle. They're making sure the vehicle is clear, even with the suspect as he is now on his knees. They now make sure that he was the only one inside that vehicle, and now approaching him with an arrest team, with his hands on his head, handcuffs being placed on the suspect, and this pursuit is officially over.
Wow.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, after about an hour and a half long pursuit, right?
And a peaceful ending
Yes.
at that, which is great. They handled this perfectly.
Yeah, we always like to see things in